I'm Suresh Venkat in conversation with two of the captains of the Indian tech industry, Dr. Ganesh Natrajan, Vice Chairman and CEO of Zensar Technologies, and Ninad Karpe, CEO and MD Aptech Limited. Gentlemen, my first question for you, and especially for you, Dr. Natarajan, there's been a lot of talk about technology at the bottom of the pyramid and what it can do. What can it do?
See, I think it can do a lot because when you look at transformation of capabilities, when I say capabilities, skills for instance, today there's this National Skills Development Corporation, there's a lot of hope that all the problems we are facing in terms of social unrest in the country can be overcome if we really educate people. So whether it's technology for skills, which I'm sure Ninad is in a better position to talk about, or even technology for healthcare, microfinance, all the aspects of bringing people below the poverty line up and maybe doing the whole inclusion that we talk about. I think technology has a humongous role to play, especially in a country of our size.
Mr. Karpe, what is the matter with Indian education, and can technology be the fix?
It can be, and it should be. The gap today between education demand, good quality education demand and supply is huge, and it will just keep growing. It just cannot be fixed. Today there are 7 million teachers short as of today, and you can't just have them overnight. All these things can be fixed if you have supplemental bits, either through the digital world, through the mobile, through television. All of this can play an important role in bridging this gap of education.
We've been hearing about the ideas of e-learning and blended learning for a while now, but there's something missing, and it's not taking off on a mass scale. What's the missing element? What's the killer app that we don't have in the e-learning side?
So e-learning, as a concept which started some time back, probably the hype was far greater than reality.
Like the paperless office, for instance.
I think we are over that hype, and I think now today there is no one single magic solution. But technologies are emerging. Whether it's a mobile, whether it's a VSAT based. These are all away from the e-learning. They're more interactive. And e-learning, one of the biggest flaws was at that point of time the interactivity was not there.
But if I may jump in on that,
sure, sir.
Again, given the 10 years I spent in education, today I think it's really maturing. I'm today on the board of a company, Global Talent Track.
Are we at that tipping point?
We are beyond the tipping point because if you look at what Global Talent Track is doing, right from China to Malaysia, actually having classrooms which are enabled by WebEx, enabled by what we call digital video technology, I think it's changing the way. But I think Ninad is right. I mean, it's no longer just e-learning, it's blended learning. So synchronously or asynchronously, if you can engage the student, give what needs to be done in the classroom, but maybe 80% of it through reinforcement methods or remedial methods, it's happening. And I think technology will play a big role.
And can this address this much talked about skills versus jobs versus talents mismatch in India?
There is no option, because there is no way you can reach out to a potential 10 million learners in this country if you don't make that happen. In fact, our own vision, which we've even talked to people like Mr. Kapil Sibal about, is that, somebody sitting in Mizoram should be able to acquire enough skills, let's say in being a paramedic, and then should be able to eventually, after 2 years of maybe working, learning, getting enough money, maybe then they could come into a university, a physical university, and do a bachelor's in nursing. But bridging the gap between the very, very poor and the underprivileged to formal education is where the skills to education continuum must happen.
So let me ask you a question related to that. How difficult is it for you to hire new employees? How difficult is it to find talent for you?
See, at this point of time, if you look at our software company, there's no problem at all, because I think there is a dearth of great opportunities in the industry. So we've had a attrition record of less than 2% for critical talent. So when we hire new people, I think if you provide a good work environment, it's very, very feasible.
Many companies say that they're having to interview 50 or 100 people to hire one. Are you facing that same
Well, it always
crunch?
happens. If you don't interview at least 20 to 25 people, which is our record, you'll never get the right person. But given the fact that those 20, 25 people are available, I think it's less of a challenge, except in very niche or unique skills where you're going to scour the earth and find one person.
Mr. Karpe, how bad is the talent crunch in your industry?
Good people are always in short supply, and that will always be so. As Ganesh's company, my company, we always look for the very best. So good people will always be in high demand. The issue is the people who are not, at the bottom and who require to be upgraded.
They're the ones who need to be upgraded, retrained, and reskilled.
So we do have an issue in still getting good talent, and then again training them to our needs.
So let's conclude this interview with an outlook for FY 2013. Let me start with Dr. Natarajan first. Mr. Natarajan, how good or bad is this year going to be 2013
for
the tech industry?
If you look at the whole 2013 to 14, which is really what was talked about. NASSCOM has projected that maybe this year we close at about 10.9%, and next year can be as high as 14%. I completely buy that because the order pipeline we are seeing in our own company, and I know it's true for the industry, I think gives enough confidence that next year will be a great year.
Okay.
When I say great year, I think we will end up on the upper end of the NASSCOM projection, which is 14% constant currency growth.
Okay.
And some of our companies will probably do better than that. So it's definitely very good. Deals are coming in. Companies which are able to manage the balance between existing technologies and new technologies like social media, cloud, data analytics, I think they'll continue to be extremely.
Mr. Karpe, are you worried about what's being called the triple dip recession in Europe?
Fortunately for us in education space, we are in a zone where these kind of things don't seriously impact us.
Okay.
I'm not saying it is, it does not impact us at all. It does, but to a lesser degree. Okay. That's the fortunate part of being in education.
But overall, from an industry point of view, should they be worried about what's being called the triple dip?
No, I don't think so. I think I agree with Ganesh. In fact, I share the same optimism. If at all last year there was some overhang of political elections and all that thing which is happening in the US, because of which there was some bit of hesitation.
Okay.
Now that is over. So I think I share the optimism that 12% will happen. I'm confident. I would not be surprised if it exceeds 14%.
Charge.
Right, Dr. Ganesh Natrajan, Mr. Ninad Karpe, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.